Good morning, everyone. In the Zoom or in person here with us in Maba. Today I'm going to give a short talk about Guanyin Bodhisattva or Avalokiteshvara. Regardless of the world's sounds or cries, Bodhisattva is the enlightened being or the great being that in the Buddhist practice. So when we see Guanyin as the great compassionate one, or great compassionate being, we need to observe how he practice and how he going to benefit himself and benefit to others, and finally come to the goal, fulfill the practice fruit of become a Buddha. So here is something that come to the Tang Dynasty and come to Japan society when Guanyin Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara translate into Chinese and Japan, they just say Guanyin and without Guan Si Yin. So that is the teaching come from China. In the Tang Dynasty, the king is called Li Siming. So he have the word that the world. Si means the world. So if anyone want to use a name similar with the king, it's not allowed in that time. So that means we short of one word. To Guan Si Yin, it becomes Guanyin. So until here right now, so that the Guanyin only translate into English is the Goddess of Mercy. So that is from the Chinese, change the name of Guan Si Yin and then translate into the Chinese in different perspective. No matter how, let me say it big like this. I put it into three parts to say that how to practice in this enlightened beings quality. So the first one is the roots of good, which can benefit to yourself. As we know that Guanyin Bodhisattva is a samana, or he represents the embodiments of the compassionate. So as what rooted of his mind is the greedlessness. So we are the being that cannot using compassionate very well is because of the greedy. And Guanyin as an enlightened being, so his greedlessness is very profound and can carry out his duty because of he is a being of renunciation. So renunciation is the first thing that need to sharing with, because after you have enlightened certain ways of overcome the worldly concern, then you will give up something. So give up to the second relinquishment means give up to relinquish to the power and the control if you are the leader. So if the leader that you guide someone, someone follow you, and then you will keep this power by your followers, and later on it become the control power due to other, and this is not very good for your own liberation. So relinquishment is the second part of the rules of good. And the third one is desireless. Desireless means that you only concern about the liberation or the higher state of your own mind, so that you have very simplicity of life. So with that kind of simple need you want, then you have not much desire to other things that relate to you, especially renunciate one who can do himself to have aloneness and put this into practice of aloneness, so he don't feel much more he need. So that kind of simplicity, so make him to detach of a lot of things that we desire for, using that as a food for burning. So detachment is the coming what we can experience if you really practice benefit to yourself, no matter how, when things change, and when things change to the final and need to letting go. If you don't letting go of something, no matter idea, view, or material, or friendship, everything when it comes to separation, you need to let it go. So detachment is the teaching of Buddhism. You really need to know the reality of the attachment is because of this purifying in your own mind need to be awakened. And this is the roots of good. So the root of good is come to the basics of greedlessness. Greedlessness is the ones that when Buddhism talk about, it really can benefit to yourself in the profound meaning. The second thing is work for other or serving other by purpose. So that is the wholesome actions. Wholesome action will bring two parts of it to sharing. The first one is hatelessness. Hate is the angers of we when we see uncomfortable, not come to the wish of yourself, then you will very difficult to handle this opposing to each other, become a big fight in the mind, and even though come to the words and come to bodily deeds. So hatelessness is a very important word that need to keep in mind because it is wholesome. And if we divided this teaching into more detail, benevolence, forgiveness, loving kindness, and compassion is the 3 or 4 things come into support hatelessness. So if we really come to the society's ethical value demands should stick to the principle, then this is 4 very important words that need to keep in mind. That is the benevolence, forgiveness, loving kindness, and compassion. This will give you that know what is the kindest thing when you come to serve the society or benefit to others without side effect, without too much involved that make you hatred. So that kindness and properness means you do something that in the right way to do, follow the noble equal path. Then you present as a Buddhist or as something related to the Dharma to serve others. So do something that more responsibility to your duty. You need these 4 kinds of supporting. So you will do this as what not the same as other people do. Need to look for something you earn or earn the power, earn the leadership, or earn some material thing like that. So that if you want to do it more pure in order to have that kind of responsibility, you involve the benefit to others. So kind-heartedness is coming to be. If you don't have that kind of maturing mind state, then you come to the society, even though as a leader, you have a big ego there, want people to follow your style or your way of doing things, then you will have a lot of conflict between you and others. Benevolence is a word that always need to be using it in order to overcome the problem. And then something that integrity also need to be. You talk something you know, you mean what you say, so that it will help you to overcome the society problem by ethical value. Stick to these principles of benevolence, forgiveness, loving kindness, and compassion. Then you will overcome the hateless problem. So hatred is very, very bad to the society. If society have a lot of violence, a lot of fight, a lot of conflict, it's not good to you to put your benefit and help others by wholesome actions. And then the last one I want to say is, when we see these two, one is greedlessness, one is hatelessness, and then the other thing is called undeludedness. Undiluted mind, very important. Because of you know how to use it by training yourself in practice way. So undiluted means you have the healfulness, very healful. A lot of right effort between you and the work or you and the learning. So healfulness, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, all about this is because of you want to pushing yourself into more energetic and more learnable, and then more energetic to do the service between yourself. So if you want to have some contribution to others, you need to have very mature tolerance, so that learned means you go to learning and learning again and again, and learning by mistake too, in order that you can be maturing and become more powerful to do the right thing. So for this, is because of you want to help others and help yourself without trouble. So empathics is a very important message that you and others need to come to a same track, doing same thing in the same times to help each other out. Not only you become the greatest being that help others, but because you come to them as an equal part, so that you and others not separated. You are the more equal, your right and action, even though eat with them, stay with them, and doing work in the same condition. This is need a lot of empathy. Then this contribution not going to show that you are different. Buddhism talking about self-liberation and talking about mind-free. This is a wisdom. So wisdom is just opposite to deluded mind. So who want to practice more profound meaning to Buddhism, Avalokiteshvara is a good example. He is a great compassionate being, a Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is a cause to Buddha. If the cause is not right cause, it's not going to process into the final goal. The right cause of the Buddha is the great compassion. So with the great compassion, it rooted in good, rooted in wholesome action. So I will sharing today to you, the roots of good is greedlessness. The root of wholesome action is heedlessness and undeludedness. Thank you.